Wants to talk to you, they'll talk to you. We're all here to have fun. It's just jokes. We love you. We're going to break the ice with what everybody's favorite topic is right now. Let's talk about politics, man. The thing about politics, though, is it's really a weird situation and it's really fucked up. You can't say anything about it. It's horrible. But the problem is that, everything was written almost 200 years ago, or a little over 200 years ago, and a lot of shit's changed since then. 200 years ago, you could grab a woman by the pussy, and it would be called true love. Another problem is that it's like the two-party system, which is supposed to be like democracy, and just supposed to be the best option for us to choose what we can. You gotta pick a side though. You can't be on either or. If you try to mediate in the middle, the other side's just fear mongering you and everything, and you have to choose which one you want to be with, And it's like, are we choosing the world leaders or the alcoholic co-parent that we want to stay with? Fuck. To be honest, I'm not saying I voted for Kamala Harris, but America was a lot cooler when we had a black president. Yeah, man, say what you want. Obama was a G. He'd be at a meeting about 9:30 in the morning directing missiles in Syria. And then by noon, he'd be practicing his jump shot. And I heard he doesn't even say Kobe when he shoots. He just steps back and hits him with a Yemen. Also, I think Obama helped the racial ties in America, man. I really do. And I can tell, I saw the difference in my grandfather's face when the election ended in 2008 versus when the election ended in 2012. And the second time he actually voted for Obama. And that meant a lot to me because, you see, my granddad was born in 1943. Very traditional man. He was a Marine that served in Vietnam and racist. Very. But I can't really blame him, though, because, back then, if you weren't racist, you were gay. And which is crazy because nowadays, if you're not gay, you're racist. Fuck, that's a bag of dicks, bro. And the other problem is everybody's soft, man. And for those that don't know what soft is, it means bitches. Everybody's bitches nowadays. And my generation's the worst, I feel, because everybody just walks around I got trauma, just trying to, it's like they're trauma bragging, And I'm a firm believer, and no matter where you've been, where you came up at, the worst thing that's happened to you is the worst thing that's happened to you. The problem is, everybody uses it as an excuse, and anybody under the age of 30 that uses it as an excuse is just trying to excuse their drug addiction. And anybody over 30 is just trying to explain their failed marriages. And speaking of failed marriages, my mom's actually been married 8 times. Yeah, true fact. And I was talking to her the other day, and I said, Mom, I'm kind of worried about you. She's like, well, what's wrong, son? And I had to just look her dead in her eyes and be like, well, the pussy's only got 9 lives. It's only one more. Can't lose her, man. I had an apartment dad for a little bit. Apartment dads are pretty cool, man. They, you got a lot of cool shit lying around in an apartment dad. Leftover liquor bottles, sloppy joes, Little Debbie. And not the food, but sloppy Joe was what we called my dad's friend that slept on the couch. And Little Debbie was a stripper girlfriend. She was a midget. Yeah, okay. But it was kind of cool, but it was like a midlife crisis frat house. And 600 square foot of freedom is what we called it. 2 beds, 1 bath, living. It was all good until my dad would just be sitting in the corner crying because there'd be a family of 4 upstairs reading their bedtime stories. Yeah, that's horrible, very sad. I love the movie Forrest Gump. A lot of people actually tell me that I look like Forrest Gump if he had a heroin addiction mid-run. It's probably true. But who doesn't love an underdog story, Everybody loves an underdog story. Rudy, Remember the Titans, Chris Hansen to Catch a Predator. Yeah. I hate jerking off now. It sucks. Porn's gotten too crazy. Porn sucks nowadays with technology. You see, like, the biggest turnoff for me is, perfect production, huge fake tits, and a storyline that'll never work. Yeah, you see, but when you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So when I do watch porn, I like to watch real homemade shit. I need the single mother that's gotta pay the bills between getting off of work and picking her kids up from grandma's. I've rode dirt bikes and motorcycles my whole life growing up. It's one of my favorite things to do. But nowadays I have a kid and a wife, so I can't really do that. I want to get a big boy bike to impress all the 15-year-old kids in the neighborhood. But what I did get, I have a dual sport. And for those of you that don't know, a dual sport is basically a street legal dirt bike. And it's really fun, except, you kind of look like, it's kind of like having a dual sport is like having a Subaru. You look really adventurous and cool, but also like you take a dick up your ass. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Up next, we got Buckner Cook.